I wonder why the HD, the people that made the HD texture pack, or the guy anyway, he chose red uniforms. Maybe to break the mold. I'm definitely gonna put flooring down though once I have comfortable amount of money. That's generally something I don't pursue. And then these areas are going to get grass and stuff too in between the cells. Like, I'll tell you right now, this is definitely way, way, way heaps cheaper than if I actually built out the entire thing as an interior, like an inside of a building. So I'm 100% okay with how this is turning out. We'll do that. This is not final, this fence planning here. I'm probably going to switch it out with something. Because, like I said, usually in these corners, as prisons are shaped weirdly like this typically, I will probably put like a chapel or something to that regard. I mean, hell, I might even have a psychologist's office and a direct route to the psychologist's office. Have like an infirmary here or whatever. Well, I could do that now. Yeah, I could do that now. Because I'm probably going to have like power generation for this area kind of be contained and on its own. Then again, these generators are fairly expensive on their own. Like, a power station's $5,000. You know, just for itself. So for now, I know what we can do. We can do something different that I don't typically do. So we have this. We're going to outline the area that's going to have the generators. So we're going to have this. We're going to have this. Right now I can barely see what the hell's going on here. Planning, here we go. These require entrances. See, this is another reason why I tend to leave the, try to make sure prisoners don't show up, because the moment prisoners start showing up, the doors start closing, and it's annoying. Like, the actual doors in front of the cells start to close. Obviously because they want to secure the prisoners, but it becomes a little bit problematic because it's hard for construction workers to get around, and it just strings your security forces out farther apart, mostly because they need to respond to door requests, like door controls. It's pretty crazy. Let's get these things lit. Not like CS:GO lit, but actual lit. And not drugs lit, but lit. So let's see. I'm gonna buy a Val. Here we go. Send the side by side. Pipe to the middle. Let's see. Sometimes I'll put two entrances in a layout like this. Like, I'll put one here to make it easier for them to get in. But also, it's a tactical and security nightmare if I do it that way. So I'm just going to use one shitty door that everyone's going to funnel in and out of. Thankfully, that's going to make it really cheaper on metal detectors. And that's important. For now, it's nice to see the detectors aren't screwing me up in any way. There we go. So the bare minimum of an office is like a 4x4, right? Isn't it? Let's see. Rooms. It has to be at least 4x4. Then what I can have is it's so weird how the planning thing gets glitched like that. There you go. Then I can have the infirmary be the rest. Because MinSec shouldn't be that bad about, you know, assaulting people, presumably, so this should be easily accessible. I don't think I can put an infirmary down yet, because I don't have access. Which is fine, I guess. Actually, let me remove that office thing. It's definitely one of those things where it's a pain in the ass because sometimes you will hire someone and then you want them to go to a specific building for an office or a specific room, and they just don't give a shit. They just go wherever the hell they want. Okay, so everything is getting laid out here. All right, so everything is secured on the outside. Let's try to prevent them from getting direct access to this area right here. We'll do something like maybe like that. Yeah, there you go. We'll block that off. It's kind of nice how sometimes when they build stuff, it actually erases the planning, but that's not always the case, obviously. There's that. At least get this out of the way, you know. I mean, if I'm not gonna get the foundations down, at least get the pathways down, so I have something more persistent than like something more physical than these imaginary lines. Oh yeah, before I end up spending all my money like a dumbass, there are supposed to be phone booths out here. So let's see, 10. So usually what I do is do something like this. Let's see. Damn, is it even worth that upfront payment? There you go. 5 metal detectors, which is something I normally do. I usually have a metal detector right as they enter this area right here. In reception. I might have one at visitation. Because, I mean, as they enter through here, they're not really expected to be searched until they get through there. Definitely going to have one here. By the door. All the doors. There we go. Administration center. Let's do maintenance. It's looking terrible all around these parts. Let's also pre-buy some shit just in case I accidentally miss the money. Like there has been times where I do cost overrun and I don't notice it. Obviously, it's gonna be a problem if I do. We can have the accountant lady be in this room right over here. On the opposite side of the warden. I don't know. Who do I want in this room? Because I know the psychologist is going to be right here. Or he should be right. Actually, no, this entire thing can be the... yeah, the psychologist should be in here then. I know it doesn't really matter what kind of door I have on it, but I'll definitely have the psychologist in here. And then this entire thing be the infirmary. I was going to have just half of this be the infirmary, and then the other half be the psychologist thing, so they have, you know, easy access. But, I guess it's a little bit of an overthinking. Let's get an object. Filing cabinet. What am I looking for? Why is it... Oh, I'm trying to sit here thinking, what am I missing? And I'm like, desk and table. But I knew I was missing desk and table. I meant, what am I missing as in graphically? I couldn't really tell. There you go. So there's at least 2 offices. They counted the chief's office, who I will, by the way, give another file cabinet. Why not? I mean, he's the chief. He's the chief, so he's going to need that to keep all the records on the prisoners. I guess that is the major downside, though, to wiring the cells like this, or to having the cells outside, is it causes problems in the form of things won't get wired merely because they're not part of an entire, room. Like, if this entire thing was inside a building, I'm pretty sure that one cable through the middle would have sufficed. But since these are all exterior buildings, each one has to be pretty much wired individually, which obviously is going to be a cost concern. All right, so we're going to do what I normally do. I'm going to throw in bunk beds, and then at a certain point, I'm going to see the error in my ways and then slowly transition them back into normal single cells, because that's what I do. Put a toilet right there. Not what I wanted. Put the drain on the inside corner so they have privacy. I mean, you don't need that much privacy when squatting on a shitter, but when you're showering, you're pretty much naked. So, logic. I guess the one good thing about having the cells organized this way, though, is I can give them windows, and it would up the quality of the room, and it would keep them from bitching. It's a weird takeaway, the way this game is, like, by design, is, let's find a bookshelf. Maybe it's a very subtle nod at social commentary, but it's like, you have to spend a lot of money to make the prisoners happy. But these are prisoners. They don't really need to be happy, but if they're not happy, they start rioting like assholes. And so most of your money goes into, making sure the prisoners are happy and not to cause a ruckus or more problems than they're worth. Keyword, worth. Obviously, especially with people that have, like, prolonged life sentences or on death row, it's a generally moot concept, because really, why? Like, why should we pay this much on these people? But this is not my specialty. I don't deal in this kinds of stuff. So the cool thing is, though, there is a clone tool. I don't deal with this kind of stuff in real life. There is a clone tool, so you only need to do, like, one thing, and you can clone the rest. So a bookshelf should be fine instead of a TV or anything like that. I don't want to give them too much shit. I mean, I feel like if I give them a TV or even a radio, they can fashion some sort of weapon out of it. I mean, that's the kind that happens in prison. Some of the most smart ingenuity type deals. Intuitive? Whatever. Words aren't really me. They'll figure out a very, very crazy way to attack people, because they got nothing better to do than to figure this shit out. And dig. Oh, they love to dig. Office. Here we go. Nope. There you go. So that'll be the psych's office. I will need cooks at some point. Maintenance is almost through. Let's see if we can snag an extra grant. And I would love deployment. That's obviously eating into my thing. Staff well-being. And reform through education. That's going to happen down the line. I don't have 5 guards, but that will occur once it's open. You know what? That is a point. If I close this... If I close that... Get this. There you go. This way, that'll get paid off the moment I start fleshing this out. So the light, that light's okay there. With this section being fenced off the way it is, let's clone. Nope, don't get the wall. I've done that by accident so many times. Accidentally grab a wall and then cause some sort of calamitous construction debacle. I don't know if the cloning needs all the objects to be actually physically present in order to clone correctly. Like, I don't know if it's allowed just to have simply the queue or the ghosts or whatever. Kind of interesting concept to me, though. I wonder what would be a really efficient pipe layout. Because I sure as hell don't know it. So these dorms will be set up first. There's enough room for them to be happy. Let's see. What we can do is add... We can probably just add the fences. And then I can still do, like, the... I can still do, like, the chapel and shit in the corners. It's just, at least there's an extra layer of security. I mean, these are min set, guys. It shouldn't be that bad. Keyword shouldn't. I mean, I think the real kick to the nuts is when I start taking these down because there's just too much fence. But it doesn't hurt to compartmentalize because it's mostly a security issue that is great to have ahead of time instead of later. So we want this to be 25 by 19. So I can't remember numbers that well. 25 by 19. At least this area will be secured, and I can actually open this place a little bit earlier because the areas that the workmen need to work on are actually available right off the bat, or they're secured and they're available. Oh, the foreman might end up wandering into that office if it's immediately made it available, which means I need to add another thing here. I might need to gate off deliveries too, mostly because the damn prisoners would probably try to make a break for it. How much money do I have? I have 11. I don't know if I want to do that kind of stuff just yet. Let's see. So I am getting a little bit ambitious for my britches here. I'm fairly certain I am. Because this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So this needed the entrance to the main set here. I wonder if I should do anything with this one. Like, this would make an odd corner here. I should just delete that. I could still do like not minsec. I could still do there you go. I could do something like that. The solitary. Yeah, solitary. But that's still not enough for solitary, to be honest. I don't know. We could do some crazy stuff here. Like, if I did deactivate temperature, actually. I was going to say, if temperature is a thing, I could definitely put that down, but 5 by 9, right? My memory's pretty shot nowadays. That is 6 by 9. There you go. 9, 5. 9, 5. There we go. Which means I can do some routing here. That should be the correct padding. This one would be... Yep. Wow, this is pretty overgrown. Like, some of these places look hella overgrown. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's just a ghost town. Could be different ways I do this, but I ain't too bothered by it. What I can do is probably delete that. Because I know most of these planning things will go away the moment like a door or something gets placed. Or sorry, a foundation gets placed, but the doors definitely won't disappear. Five by 9, 5x9. They got some cool mods for this though, not just the texture pack. Like they had a POW mod. I'm like, I'd only play that if I could reenact Hogan's Heroes. Oh, those days. I definitely like that more than I did MASH. But times have really gone by. We don't see TV shows like that anymore. Maybe there's some sort of cultural sensitivity against World War II, especially in the German side. We get it. It happened. You don't have to hide it. Let's see. So delete that. I should really bother to check in with my got my research every once in a while. So the maintenance guy's done. I could start on health. I need that psychology thing figured out. Let's see what I can do. I can get some things out of the way right now. Like, for example, get a filing cabinet in here. And a desk. And then cancel the chair so that they can put everything in, that the chair is purchased, they can install everything in here. But I don't want the foreman to be in this office, actually. I want, actually here. I just reminded myself of a good point. I want, if this is going to be the Sykes office, then I might as well do it right. This one will also be an office, but don't forget the light. Wow, it's getting grungy in there. The accountant needs a lot of filing cabinets because she has a lot of records to keep. She's the accountant. Oh, we want the office desk like that. It's gonna take me. It's still gonna take me a bit to get used to the colors and shapes of these chairs. Let's what looks worse for wear? The outdoors look worse for wear. 2,000 for groundskeeping. Ooh, that's a steep kick to the nuts. I might hold off on that. I definitely need to get the canteen and shit started as well, because this definitely is not going to do. Like, I have the cells, but I still don't have a canteen or anything like that. I also need to do a temporary measure of blocking this off so that the prisoners won't, you know, run out the corner there. Now how do I want to do the kitchen? Because I want to be able to feed. See, I need capacity for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There will be 20. There'll be 80. I need capacity for 80 people. Which, you know, I'm going to be entirely honest, I don't know how it's going to turn out. The fact that these stack very well in the corner here, I'm okay with this. So each table represents 4, 4, so that's 8. So this is 6 times 8, this is 48. So that means if I add another row on this side, that's 64. Wait, no. I'm fucking stupid. That's 96. Which means I could probably eliminate a subsection here. Because, like, if we do 9 times 8, that's 72. That means 8 people might be standing around. What I normally do is put a common area in here as well, in the central area. Necessarily for the AA classes. Those things are... That's definitely a thing that you want to have about. Because your inmates won't stop bitching about drugs and alcohol. So usually the only way you can quell that is by, you know, sobering them up. Getting them over their addictions. Let's see. So, but I obviously also need capacity for. I need capacity for. You know what? I'll add these windows. Why not? Oh, I can't add one on that section because of that fence. Is this one an even numbered amount of blocks? No, it's not. Because there's one over there. Yeah. I mean, these aren't really necessary, really, the windows. I just do it because I felt like it. Well, the administrative wing windows. The windows in the cells are probably a good idea to have. Objects. I'll just go diagonally in. That's not diagonally in. You know, in all this, you know, congruity and symmetry, I'm going to miss something somewhere. I know it. Now, I've never done testing, nor is the wiki reliable on this, but I don't know how many, if one serving table is enough for all 80. I don't think it is. Non-oven. It's called a cooker. Sorry. I'll have the fridges up the back. And the cooker's in the middle. Let's see. Yeah. Then we can have a sink right there. Whoops. It's so weird that they offset the texture, which would make me assume that it's facing the correct way, but the sink was actually reversed, so I don't know. Now we're gonna have the apropos benches. I don't know, I feel like this may be overkill for the benches. Not entirely sure yet. What I can do is add... Damn it, not oven. Cook. So we can probably have, like, the cookers up along this, Let's cancel that one. Cookers along this back wall. I'm also realizing a little bit my folly that I was under the impression that this entire back area is not going to be accessible to the people over here, but I guess I did that wrong. Okay. I guess we could have it celled off. So here, let's dismantle that. No, I have an idea of how I'm gonna get this to work now. So we can have the serving tables. We can have like one right here. Huh, they don't really stack very well, do they? Or they don't go together very well. Because we can do something like this around the corner. No, let's do something like... We do that around the corner. And we can have cookers in the middle. Because I think it does matter how many cookers they use, or whether or not they have access to them. So I can do 2 here and then a bunch in the back. This may be overdoing it. Oh, speaking of overdoing it. Oh, even by canceling it, I can't get the money back. This is definitely one of those times I'm not paying attention to my intake. See, I can't even do this stuff. Like I can't even do this. This is interesting. Well, I know what I can do. I can actually take inmates. that's definitely how I can make income. So total prisoners to 20.